Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. We are going to be making a special Mother's Day craft today. So this is an extra video. There's also a Creative Tuesday video out already on encouragement cards. You can actually use to make Mother's Day cards as well. So for this special Mother's Day craft, we're making something using salt dough. So we're going to be making, you can decide, it's very flexible with what you want to make. You can make wall hangings, you can make a picture frame, you can make a like a ring dish even, anything you want to make with this, but it's very similar to like homemade ornaments or something, kind of similar to clay once it comes out. So I'm going to be making a wall hanging that you can put pictures behind as well. So there's a few materials you're going to need. For the salt dough itself, you'll need some flour, some salt, and some water. To make it, you'll need some measuring cups, a bowl, a fork to mix it with. To roll it out, you'll need parchment paper with flour sprinkled on it, a rolling pin, and then to make the shapes, you'll need maybe some cookie cutters, or you can use, if you're going to trace a hand, or use an image that you're tracing, which is what I'm going to do because I don't have any cookie cutters. You can use a toothpick to outline the edge and then a butter knife to cut it around it. And then we're going to be baking the salt dough. So for that, you'll need an oven that's preheated to 200 degrees. So you'll need help from an adult, probably your dad for that one, and just regular ungreased cookie sheet to bake them on. So getting started, I already made my dough, but the basic recipe for the salt dough is 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, and then I used 1 cup of water. So it's anywhere from 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of water. So you start out putting in the salt and the flour, mix it together, and then you add the water. I always add 3/4 of a cup first, and then if I need it, if the dough is still really dry, I'll add the rest of it too. So once you've mixed it all together, you're just going to have the dough. I can pull it out just to show you what it looks like. So it's pretty sticky and it's thick. It's not like, I guess it's similar to like sugar cookie dough, if you've made sugar cookies. But what you're gonna do once you've mixed all the ingredients is you're just gonna knead it for a while. So you put it in the bowl and just push down, make fists and kind of push down with your knuckles, roll it up again, and you do that just until it's really well combined. So this part's a little messy. So my dough is still a little wet, so I'm just gonna sprinkle in a little bit of flour because I don't want it to be quite so wet. Just push it around. There we go. Sorry, my kitchen table is a little squeaky. Alright, so once you are happy with your salt dough, how it's turned out, next you're going to roll it out, and you want it to be about 1/4 inch thick. You don't want it to be too thin where it cracks in the oven, but you don't want it to be too thick where it takes forever to dry out. So I'm pretty happy with this salt dough. So you put it down on the floured parchment paper, and you can push it down a little bit before you roll it out. I'm going to take a little bit of flour and actually sprinkle it on top of the dough, and then also rub my rolling pin with the flour so that doesn't stick. And then you're just going to roll it out to be about, like I said, 1/4 inch thick. once you're happy with about how thick it is, which I'm pretty happy, then you're gonna take your cookie cutters or whatever it is you want to make. So something cool that I've seen is that I'm gonna be making is it's kind of like a heart, hearts that go down. So I'm gonna be making 3 hearts of different sizes. So one big one for the top, one middle-sized one for the middle, and one smaller one for the bottom. And then I'm gonna be punching a hole in the middle of those hearts that I'm gonna attach pictures to the back. And then putting little holes in the top and bottom of each heart to put the string through. So it's gonna kind of hang down, and there'll be a picture of that too. I've also seen you can put your hand on it, trace that out, and punch a hole in the middle to put a picture in, or just have your hand and have it hanging like that. You can get like a thick stick from outside and make a bunch of different hearts. Just punch a little hole in the top to tie string to, and then you hang like 4 or 5 different hearts from this stick that then can be hung on the wall. So there's lots of different options that you can make. So this is the time where if you have a cookie cutter you want to use, you're going to take that cookie cutter, or templates you want to use, you're going to use that. So I'm going to take my little heart templates, and I'm going to start with the toothpick. I'm going to start with the bigger one and kind of trace with my toothpick around the heart. So there's my first heart. And I'm going to do the same with the other 2. Alright, so now that I have gotten my hearts completely traced out, I'm going to take my butter knife and cut the edges completely. Cut them out of the dough. So next, I'm gonna find something small and circular in my kitchen, and I'm gonna punch out this little hole that's going to hold the pictures. Okay. And then I'm going to peel that dough away in the middle and kind of form the edges. And then peel away all the excess dough from around the hearts that I'm not going to use. This one you're going to have to be a little careful with, and it's probably not going to come out perfect, so you might have to touch it up. Okay, so once you've done that, then you just tidy up the edges with a butter knife. And then push down on your cookie cutters so that it's the same thickness all throughout. And if you have any extra like flour on it, you're going to want to brush that off a little bit. And then you're going to transfer them onto your cookie sheet. Oh, but before that, I almost forgot about a really important step. If you're going to be hanging these at all, you're going to need some holes you're gonna have to make some little holes to tie the string to. You don't want it to be too close to the edge so that it breaks. You can do that, make those little holes with like a pen, or if you have toothpicks. I'm using a toothpick. So for mine, I'm doing a hole on the top and the bottom of each heart, because they're gonna hang one right under the other. Right. And you carefully try and get under your salt dough shape. This part's a little tough. Probably need help with this. And then transfer it onto the cookie sheet. And then once it's on the cookie sheet, you can fix it if it became warped at all, which mine did. And you may have to redo those holes you made before. All right, and once you have them on the cookie sheet, I'm going to show you kind of what mine look like. And you just stick it in the oven, and it's gonna bake at 200 degrees for 30 minutes. So I'll check back once it's out of the oven. Okay, so mine ended up cooking about 45 minutes, so anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour is a good time. You want them, when you kind of push down, for it to be kind of hard. These are still actually a little soft, but they do harden even just as they're sitting out. So once you have pulled them out of the oven, you want to transfer them onto a plate or something, let them cool for like 10 to 15 minutes. And once they have cooled enough, at that point you can paint them. You can take sandpaper and sand down the edges so they're not so they're a little more smooth. And then once you're done decorating them, you can string them together. So I have my string, cut it into different sizes. I'm taking a toothpick so I can get it through, and I'm going to start with the bigger heart and string it through the top. There we go. And for the very top one, you're going to want to make a loop. Something that you can hang. You can use this to hang on a nail or something like that on the wall. All right. So I've got my first one strung up. You're going to cut another piece of rope, and this one you're going to put one end through the bottom hole. And then you can do one of two things. You can either tie a complete loop, or you can do a knot on one side and a knot on the other side. So I'm actually going to do a knot on each side. So I'm tying it close on one end. And then I'm going to push it through the top of my next heart, the other end through. You can figure out how spaced out you want it. I only want mine like about an inch. So I'll tie that one. And then you get one more piece of string for the last one. And then once you've tied them all, you want to just trim the excess with some scissors. And same with the top one. And then you're done. So now you have this beautiful, come a little closer. This beautiful thing that you can hang on the wall. I'm going to put pictures behind in each hole, and it's just that easy. So hope you guys enjoyed this craft. I hope your mothers enjoy it. I know that they will. Moms love that kind of thing. Anything homemade that we make them, right? So yeah, hope you guys have an awesome week and an awesome Mother's Day on Sunday. See you guys.